Hello, my viewer. Welcome to a new episode on this platform, Nuggets of Wisdom, with me, Dr. Charles Nzomo AK, the Bishop Amazing Grace Explosion Center. This is a platform whereby you are receiving great level of wisdom on how to address your life and how you should deal with your life in order to avoid mental disorders that are actually ravaging humanity in this day and age. Matters of mental health have become a major concern. And on this platform, I began by addressing on the human mind, how human mind are already works in collaboration with the will and emotions. I tackled 4 major functions of the mind, that is learning, meditation, reasoning, and imagination. I tackled the 3 levels of wisdom and the 3 levels of foolishness. I tackled the 4 keys we must have from age 20 as we begin to deploy ourselves in the land of the living in order to have a guarantee of leading a peaceful life. I've also tackled 3 levels of laws that are governing life, laws that cannot be violated, and you violate them at your peril. I addressed only 3 main pillars you need in order now to build your life from age 20, now to have a life that cannot be taboo. There are pillars you need to use from age 20 when you begin now to take life seriously and you begin to work on your personal dreams. I also addressed on something called goodness. You must be filled with the goodness in this life. And after all that, now I introduced the 5 drivers you must have on board in your life and ensure that they are holding their steerings without interference in order to drive your life successfully in the land of the living, in order to avoid ditching your life. These drivers, I said, one of them is information, another one is money, another one is health, another one is relationships, and the 5th one is the Lord Jesus Christ. Then after now expounding on all those drivers, now I took one of the drivers a notch higher for the last 2 episodes. Actually, that is the 2nd driver, who is called money. That is actually the driver I purpose now to take a notch higher. And actually that is where I introduced now 5 pillars of money. One, they are M pillars, one being master called money, another one being movement of money, another one being management of money, another one being multiplication of money, and another one being momentum of money. There are other pillars of money, but on this actually platform, Nuggets of Wisdom, I want to bring to you now actually only those 5 pillars of money. You need to know what they are and what they mean in order actually to be successful financially, because we saw this is one of the great drivers of life. In the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 12, money is a defense. And that is why actually we are told in Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 7, the rich ruleth the poor, and the borrower is a servant to the lender. These are principles that are governing life from the Holy Book, the wisdom of God. Luke 11:49. The word of God is the wisdom of God. So actually, if you don't want somebody now to rule you on the basis of economic, you have to ensure that you are not borrowing their money. Yes, the borrower actually is a servant to the lender. Actually, and the rich rule like the poor. Here we are not talking about age index. If you are poor, you are 70 years, and there is somebody who is very rich of actually 30 years, he will rule over you. That is a principle of life. Money is a defense. You cannot rush to him pouring all kind of nonsense to such kind of a person simply because you are 60 years old and you are a poor man. That is somebody already with the money, and we are told, Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 2, money is a defense. You will respect that person, you like it or not. Money is a defense. We are told in Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19, money answers all things. So in this life, we cannot dismiss the issue of money. Money is a driver. It is money that is going to determine whether you are going to move from one town to another. Even if you have your own vehicle, you fuel it, and you need money to fuel it. Moving from one town to another. Money is a driver for this life, and this is the pillar I purpose to take a notch higher, because actually it is one of the key players when it comes to matters of mental disorders, stress, depression. Actually, a lot when you try to interrogate many people who are actually depressed, you see also the aspect of money coming into play, and especially now, lack of understanding on these kind of pillars. Now I'm addressing on this platform, Nugget of Wisdom. I have tackled the first pillar, that is master called money, and I told you from age 20 that is the pillar you have to ensure actually it is not in your life. It begins to actually to get established in us from our childhood, because actually we see the fact that money answers all things now makes us grow up with this pillar. Now that's why we are told in the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10, the love of money, the root of all evil. Now, when the money now begins to dominate you, master called money, when you begin to serve money, that becomes now tragic. I mentioned here that as far as the relationship of God and the mankind is concerned, the major conflict God has is not with the devil. It is with the money. That is why in Matthew chapter 6 verse 24, we see Jesus say, no one can serve two masters. And they did not say you cannot serve God and the devil. He said you cannot serve God and the money. You have to choose one. If you love God, you serve God. And the way you love God will determine how you'll be treating other fellow human beings. But if you love money, you find that God is playing second fiddle in your life. And that is where you find that even the love of money will determine how you'll be treating other people. You cannot pay those who have served you at the right time. You see, you cannot clear fees balance of your child, and you have got the money. A child is chased. We saw how Solomon warned that actually he who is greedy to make wealth actually troubleth his own house. This is when now already money becomes your master called the money. When money begins to dictate how you are going to handle your life, how you are going to treat people, now that it becomes tragic. I said human mind is the pivot around which our entire life revolves. That is Proverbs chapter 27 verse 3. As he thinks in his heart, so is he. So it is your mind that should be able now to govern your financial life and the govern your financial ethics. Already it is the mind, not the money, that should be speaking. That is master called the money. I talked about it a lot, and also I talked about the movement of money, because money definitely moves from one person to another, from one institution to another, from one organization to another, from one banker to another. But there are factors that are dictating all that movement. Money cannot move from my pocket to your pocket just anyhow. No, there are factors that should be at play. Yes, either you have given me some service, or money already there is movement. Money will move. Now that's why we have been addressing on key factors that determine now genuine movement of money. Money, I said, genuine money many times is exchanged with something called a service. Yes, you have shaped my head. Yes, I have no choice. I get to my pocket, money leaves my pocket and it comes to your pocket. Or money leaves my M-Pesa account to your M-Pesa account. Money, movement of money. And that man has moved. Yes, there is movement of money. And that is why in movement of money, I say the money accrues to a talent. So as you hit age 20, you must have discovered what on earth you are here for, in order to ensure that money accrues to you. Money is leaving people, whether they like it or not, to you. Yes, somebody has constructed his house. You are the best known food for painting he will call you. You are not going to call him. He's the one who is looking for you. That is where I say now, once you discover what on earth you are here for and you be a go-getter, money begins to chase you. You don't chase money. Yes, because your work already stands out and you are outstanding in what you do. These are principles, very clear principles governing life. Now, on this platform, I want to address the third pillar of money, and that is management of money. This is one of the greatest pillars of money I can talk about, because now it is not basically about movement of money. There are so many people who are getting a lot of money, but they cannot show where the money goes. There is something now called management. Once the money has moved from that organization to you, you have rendered certain service, their money will come to you. You have given some service to a certain person, money is coming to you. But the question is, once the money now becomes yours, yes, once money becomes yours, how do you handle it? Now there is management of money. It's one of the greatest pillars I tackle when I'm addressing on the issues of money, and actually the 5 pillars of money. Because actually, if you do not manage the money, money will manage you. And that is what I stated. The first pillar, master called money. Money will tell you to buy a jacket and you had no plan about it. Money will tell you to go there. And once you go there, actually you eat the most expensive food. Money will start dictating you. You are going to a hotel, you don't know what you are going to eat there. And actually you see somebody eating chicken or this and that, you say, bring chicken. Now money will start now dictating you. Simply because you are very poor in what is called management of money. Money that now has entered into your hands. And when you are talking about stress, depression and all that, a lot of that comes as a result of having received money, and after a few days you are broke and you cannot show what you have done with the money. You started acting emotionally, and there is no way you can be happy. You received 100,000 just after a few days you want to borrow money. You find yourself, you cannot escape stress because there are other things that are clamoring for financial attention, and you don't have the money. Now that becomes now tragic, and that is why management of money is a very, very great pillar of money. I did mention on this platform, Nuggets of Wisdom, that actually when I was talking about the 3 pillars of money, when I was addressing on the pillar called your personal dream and addressing on the issue of your talent and a gift, I said a lot of money actually is in informal sector. It is in informal sector. The one people just a layman's language call it juakali. It's in informal sector. But let me tell you, many people in informal sector get money that actually doubles somebody who is salaried receiving money by the end of the month. But once you begin to evaluate their life, you see that the person who receives 40,000 as a salary by the end of the month is the one who has managed to achieve a lot in life in terms of development and all that, than somebody who is receiving 80,000 in informal sector on a daily basis and this and that. Why? Because somebody who is salaried many times, unless that one in informal sector is meticulous in management, I tell you, will be outwitted in terms of development by somebody who is receiving half that money. Because through salary, people are managed. Until this time, you cannot receive money. And you find that you are a bit disciplined in terms of management of your money, because you know when you are going to receive another money and you know it is how much. But if somebody who is in the informal sector may not tell how much you're receiving tomorrow, how much you're receiving 2 days. So they live being a bit reluctant in terms of management of money. And that is why you find somebody actually as a car wash every day after paying those who are working there, gets home with not less than 3,000. That is almost revolving around 90 to 100,000 a month, but you cannot show what that person does with that money. Somebody who receives 50,000 monthly seems to be better off seems to be respected, seems to be commanding financially than somebody who receives almost 100,000 in informal sector. This is because money already has got ability to command you and dictate you. Master called the money. And now, if that becomes the case, you find that now you cannot achieve a lot because it is money that is managing you. You are not the one who is managing money. This is why management of money is a topic that needs to be very, very well addressed. I talk about something called the net income. This is where you find so many people actually messing big time through getting loans and all this and that. Because while addressing on this pillar called management of money, first of all, I bring the concept of something called a budget. So many people don't have that concept, which is a tool that now shows us the direction that our money goes. Unless you have a budget, you will not be able to tell the direction that at least half of your money, where it has gone, especially when you are working in informal sector. There are actually three main harms when it comes to money. There is the harm of economics, there is the harm of commerce, there is the harm of accounting. And because many people are poor in accounting and mathematics, in an informal sector, they don't account daily. What has come in, what has gone out. And as a result, you find that their management begins to suffer. Management of money begins to suffer because some of them even cannot tell when they are making profit and when they are making losses. And that becomes very tragic. They cannot tell when they are meant to lead to profit, they are meant a lot of profit. In order to adjust now principles of economics, to adjust, you eat a lunch of 300, you need to eat today a lunch of 100 because you can see what you have meant now that day. These are principles that play out together: economics, principles of commerce, and the principles of accounting. But many people in informal sector are very poor when it comes to management of money, and it is because they don't have that tool called a budget. A budget is a tool that helps you to know the direction that your money goes, and that is now, before you now begin spending the money, you must be knowing why you are spending it on this and that on the table. That is a budget now. What you deal with when already you are seated down. You know why you need to slash this from 800 to 500. You know why you need to slash this that month. You dismiss it from your expenditure totally because it is not a priority. It is a budget that now guides you in order now to know the direction that your money goes and in order to know how much you are going to save. Because always I say, if you cannot economize, you will agonize. That is when it comes to management of money. There is what is called financial discipline. And the word discipline means delayed gratification. That is to fail to eat chicken today, and actually next year you will be eating 3 chicken in a week. Yeah, that is delayed gratification. If you cannot economize, you will agonize. Because there is what is called management of money. And this is where we need a budget and ensure that in that budget there's something called saving. Because if you are not saving anything, already you are dead while living. You're not living like a human being. You are living like other animals. Even if you don't have a debt, you spend all the money you receive on a daily basis, and the issues that actually need your financial attention, but you have saved nothing. Already, I want to tell you, you don't have a debt, but also a goat does not have a debt. A donkey does not have a debt. A sheep does not have a debt. They are just like surviving. And that is now what now you want to mean. Because actually you are power, when it comes to money, it is that money you have saved. That is the money that is your power tomorrow, when it comes to tomorrow. Now, concerning power or money, you begin to talk about what you have saved, not what you have spent. It is what you have saved. That is now what relieves you mentally, relieves you in terms of mental stress. Now that is what relieves you already from fears of what may come, because somebody who has actually a lot of money, savings and all that, that person is not afraid of now financial issue that might be coming, all this and that. So there is the culture of saving, and this comes from actually what we call a budget. Before you spend that money, you have to sit down and draw a budget on how you are going to spend that money, and then ensure that it is the budget that will tell you this is not a priority, this is a priority. I have to save this and not that. All of that comes from something called a budget, a tool that helps us to know the direction that our money goes. Let me tell you for free, many people don't have that thing. They don't have a budget. And actually, they are receiving a lot of money in formal sector. Even others are salaried people. They don't have a budget. They just spend the money because they have received the money. Yet money has got the power to dominate the master called the money. Now, if you cannot have a budget, you cannot actually manage your money. That is why you see so many people, because of this we call master called the money, they go for loans that are not justified. They mess their salary all the way from engross of over 80,000, they begin to receive a net of only 20,000. The word net, when I'm addressing on finance, is an acronym of 3 words. A word called negotiation, a word called expansion, a word called trend. That is an acronym when we are talking about net. And once you mess your salary and have almost little in terms of net, the net is a very powerful tool for your life. When it comes to your financial life, it's a very powerful tool, because first thing, even without even going to expansion and trend, the first one is negotiation. Once you mess with your payslip, already, whenever you are negotiating, anybody who actually you want to negotiate with concerning any matter of life, what they look when you give them their payslip with the magnified lenses is what is called net. They have no business with your gross. Your gross is 200,000, but they can see your net is 40,000. So talk. You are taught to talk. There's a facility you are negotiating somewhere you want to buy. Now you have to talk, and you keep quiet, because that person will look at net with the magnified. What is there? That is what you are worthy, the net. We will view that with the magnified lenses. And you open your mouth to speak, and you keep quiet. Even if you receive 70,000 shillings in a month, that is your gross. If your net is 18,000, and you want to negotiate with a principal so that your child can be allowed to be in school, as you plan how you are going to pay the fees. Now, the principal, you must have a convincing language. Yes, when it comes to money, there is a convincing language. There is negotiation. Even when you are going to borrow, because already we have seen Proverbs 22 verse 7. Actually, the rich rule like the poor. You are a teacher, and you have gone to borrow money to somebody who actually went only to class 4. But because you need his money, he has a shop. No, you have to give him some blah blah. He has not asked you. The check you deposited last week, why it has delayed, he had no business knowing about the check, my friend. It is something called convincing language. You need his money. Yes, that is why he is ruling you. The rich rule like the poor. Yes, you rule like the poor. And that is where now you see already when it comes to, it is called convincing language. So there's something called negotiation. So when you try, the principal will ask you, and now after looking at your payslip, will ask you, and now parents, how are you planning to pay these fees? You can see the outstanding balance. Here you can see net is 18,000, and he knows you have got a wife who needs food. You have got other children, and you also eat. You can see 18,000. You try to open your mouth and you shut up. You lack a power to talk. But when somebody else comes with a child to the same principal, but the principal can see gross is 70,000, and the net you can see is 49,000. When the principal is asking him, how are you planning to clear these fees? Even the principal will be respecting that person. What people look with the magnifying lenses is the net. Yes, the net. You can see. And when you are telling Bwana principal, I'm intending to pay these fees on 3 installments. Every month, 15,000. You can see you'll be able to clear that balance of 45,000. You will see that. And because standing orders are made by people and the implementation is also done by people, principal is a human being. He will not even talk to the parent. He will just call the secretary, call him, tell that kijana to come. And then the child comes to the office, principal tells him go back to class, and the principal pulls a book, he writes somewhere, and he tells you, see, we are done, parent, have a good day. Yeah, because it is called negotiation. Yes, net, it begins with the ability to talk, because where money informed, you talk. And I tell you, if there is almost nothing in that net, you will miss words. Yes, This is where so many people mess because of what is called master called money. They want to live 3 years life to come today. That is what they will go and they actually get a loan in order to construct a tank. In order to do this, you want to pull that tank from 3 years from now to today, and that is where you find yourself now living a life of debts, being frustrated. People are calling you because life will not stand. Laws of nature will not stand. You need food every day. Yes, there are laws that are working and already issues that need finance. Yet you have messed your salary to have actually net income of almost nothing. This is because you don't have ability to manage your money. You don't have ability to manage your money. That is why you want to get money that you have not worked for in terms of a loan. You are not investing it. I'm coming to the next principle that is called multiplication of money. You are not getting that loan now to multiply the money. You are getting it to just purchase some fixed asset or to do something else that is not generating anything. Now you are committing financial suicide. Yes, you are committing financial suicide because what you are left with as net, that is what will determine how you'll be living, and you are going to get into debt, you like it or not. Laws are not going to stop working. Laws of nature are not going to stop working. You have got the children who need fees. Another one is doing the final exam, is going to secondary. You know all that. But because of something I call stubbornness, I called deceitfulness of the heart, you find yourself actually allowing your heart to deceive you. You manage it, yet when that real time comes, already you find yourself in a real problem. You have tried to borrow here, you have tried to borrow here, you have borrowed everywhere, left, right, center, and then now you are in stress because the child has to go to school. You are the one who messed because you don't have a pillar called management of money. You don't have ability to manage your money. There is something that actually seems like a pillar, and that is killing many, especially Africans, called merry-go-round. It is another M, but it is not a pillar. I don't come from that school of thought. Merry-go-round. 15 teachers, they produce 1,000 every month. They give to one person 15,000. Yes, a whole month. Now, and already your 1,000 will come be 15,000 after 15 months within zero profit. that is bondage. That is slavery. Merry-go-round is not a pillar, and I will tell you why it is not a pillar when I get to the next pillar of money. Yes, I'll tell you why it is not one of the good pillars, but so many people are in those merry-go-rounds. Actually, Kamba people call it in Zangule. These kind of issues. And these are not pillars. It means you yourself, you don't have financial discipline. You cannot manage your money. If that 1,000, you cannot leave it in your account and have discipline. Yes, to leave it every month in your account. It means now money now is dictating you. Money is your master. Yes, if you cannot manage that 1,000 and do what you want it to be saved by other people, you receive it to be 15,000 to go and do. If you cannot do that, it means now already money is dominating you. Master called money. It means now you love money. When you have the money, actually you're not sure where it goes. 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10. Love of money is the root of all evil. So actually there is what is called contentment. 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 6. We are told godliness with the contentment is a great gain. You cannot manage money unless you have financial discipline, unless you are a contented person. You have what is called contentment. Unless you have ability to dominate money, you cannot manage money. This is one of the greatest pillars, because if you cannot manage your money, you are in a problem. It is not about how much money now moves towards you, movement of money, how much money you are receiving. It is about after you receive, what do you do with it? It is about out of what you have done with it, how much have you saved to be your tomorrow's strength and the financial power. How much have you saved? Because it is now what is called management of money. Actually, Jesus, I did mention here, talked about deceitfulness of riches. So many human beings cannot manage money, are managed by money, actually because of deceitfulness. Deceitfulness of riches. I said, even going by Abraham Maslow, in the popularly Maslow hierarchy of needs, I didn't mention here that even the basic needs, food, clothing, and shelter, are not the same when it comes to consumption of our finance. The place of shelter, the place of clothing is not the same as the place for food. Actually, food consumes our money every day. And actually, food is not like shoe polish. Food is not like toothpaste. You purchase a toothpaste and you don't remember when you purchased it before you purchase another. It's about a matter of budgeting to have this and that, to have this. But when it comes to food, this is where you find so many people who don't smoke cigarettes, that is tobacco. People don't actually drink beer, but people who are addicted with eating. People who are addicted with eating. People actually who, when they get to hotel, they eat like they want to eat like there is no tomorrow. They are looking for expensive food. Yet life, I told you, it has got the lowest common denominator. So when God was balancing laws governing life, he ensured that you cannot go on bragging because you are a lawyer, bragging before a doctor. When you get sick, you need that doctor. Yes, God balanced the equations. You cannot go on bragging because you are a doctor to somebody who is doing carpentry. Actually, if that person is not there, you are going to sleep on the floor. He's the one who made the bed that you need. You'll be very comfortable when you are lying on it. He deserves a lot of respect. Yes, he's the one who has made that sofa set you purchased at 150,000. He deserves, because God, the big picture of God was to balance equation of life, and he gave us different kind of talents so that life can have meaning. So everybody has got their area of assignment in life, and every area is a money maker. I come from that school of thought. And this is where now you find that even when it comes to nutrition, what we need to eat in order to live, through biology, now the topic of nutrition, actually you find that you don't need a lot of money to eat a balanced diet. No. There are things that are very cheap, available, and they constitute what is called a balanced diet. So you don't need 500 shillings daily in order to actually give your body what it requires in terms of nutrition. No. This is just a matter of addiction to be eating 800 shillings daily, to be eating chicken, to eat this, yet you are saving nothing. And if you cannot eat that thing, it is like you are sick mentally. It is like you are losing something. It means you are addicted by food. You are addicted. The way people can be addicted by clothing. And if they have not purchased a Christmas dress, it is like that Christmas, there is no Christmas. They have psychological problem. This is what I call lowest common denominators. Life has got lowest common denominators. And when it comes to riches, Jesus talked about the deceitfulness of riches. And that is why so many people cannot manage their money already. Now they end up actually being in healthy problems because it is money that is managing them. They are chasing this, they are chasing the other, and actually you find them, they are stressed out because they cannot settle down and they manage their money. Talk about the direction where their money is going. This becomes a tragedy when actually you cannot manage your own money. I said here, even if you have got 100 suits and somebody has got 5, whenever you are meeting in a certain occasion, according to laws of nature, each will be wearing 1 set of suit. Even if you have constructed a house of 70 rooms, yes, and somebody has got a house of 70 rooms, definitely when it comes to night time and you all have got 24 hours. Now, the time to sleep, each will occupy only 1 room. So wearing out your health while you are chasing wealth, that one actually is quite unnecessary because, yes, we need money. Money is a driver of life, but you have to know that you need health. Health is another driver, and you can lose your health while you are chasing wealth. You can lose your health because you cannot manage your money. Once money comes, few days, you cannot tell where the money has gone. You are stressed up. You can lose even your health. That is why you have to make sure you are balanced when it comes to life. You are managing your own money. You can tell the direction that the money goes. Also, you have to beware of covetousness. If you have got what to eat, you have got what to wear, you have got a shelter, you have to now to grow your life naturally without allowing stress and depression. You are not in a competition with anybody. It is about your own life to ensure you are living debt-free life. Yes, debt-free life. That is what I advocate. Debt-free life. Once you are living debt-free life, I tell you, many times you are not stressed up. Nobody is calling you. Nobody is frustrating you because of a certain debt. I tell you, you'll be many times free from stress. So management of money is one of the greatest pillars. And that is why you have to ensure that you take it very, very, very seriously. Once you are involved in whatever that is bringing money, whether it is in formal sector, whether you are salaried, make sure you have got a budget, make sure you are disciplined, you have got financial discipline, make sure actually you can tell the direction that your money goes. So it is not only about movement. Yes, we need money to move towards us, but also that is one thing, but how you manage that money is totally a different thing. And that they all determine your financial life. They mean a lot when it comes to your financial life. So management of money is one of the greatest pillars. You have to ensure now from age 20 you have got the financial discipline. You have to ensure that you know how to budget. You have to ensure that already you tame some of your appetites in order to make sure that you are not frustrating your life in the land of the living, because already money is a very key driver. And without this driver on board, definitely you cannot talk about good mental health. This book addresses a lot on those principles, especially Master Code Money. I talked about it a lot on this book. It is a great book. You can get it actually through the number below, hard copies. It is a great book. You can get actually e-books of the same from Amazon platform. This is Nuggets of Wisdom with me, Dr. Charles Nzomo AK, the Bishop, Amazing Grace Explosion Center. Meet me next episode as I bring to you now multiplication of money. Shalom.